All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. It's basically going to attest to a part two of yesterday. Um, yeah, we're going to go over some more of the Minnesota shenanigans that happened over the weekend. I know there have been updates. Hopefully, too much more won't happen on that today, and we'll cover the updates that happened yesterday, tomorrow. Always bringing you breaking news here at the Bear in Mind channel. But we'll get into it. Welcome to the Associated Guests. I, as always, am your host, Alpha Yanimus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Let's get back into it with Lord Nuxenor.
The right, ever. The left is an actual, in my opinion, borderline terrorist organization.
Yes,
and
this is part two from
that
yesterday.
is because their principles are they want the destruction of the West, and they have no actual guiding moral foundation to actually teach them the difference between right and wrong. Thou shalt not murder is a pretty core tenet of my faith and the faith of a lot of people on the right. It is the core tenet of no one's faith on the left. And if there weren't cameras here and if people weren't seeing it, they would absolutely kill this guy and they would relish in his demise, and you know that. So this is Jake Lang. He's a Christian activist fellow. He was a January 6er, and he basically showed up here to Minnesota to protest against Islam.
Minneapolis City Hall will be.
I'm not a big fan of Jake Lang. I'm not going to lie. He is January 6er. He is one of the violent ones. Allegedly, the whole way everything went down with January 6th, it's hard to tell because they pretty much just, all the things that they're saying about about immigrants being picked up by ICE. That's basically what happened to a lot of the January 6ers. There's a whole bunch of them that were violent, that were doing horrible things, that were snatched up, and even though they were violent, they really didn't get a trial. Not really. That being said, I don't think Trump should have let the violent ones out, although some of them were in there long enough for whatever their sentence was, especially if they're from big cities. But not a big fan of Jake Lang. Wouldn't be surprised if he was doing something a little extra to provoke, but unless he was putting hands on people, which he's known to do, he didn't deserve all this.
Burning Qurans, standing up against the Somali invasion of Minneapolis, the immediate deportation of Ilhan Omar, and the arrest of the.
And no, burning Qurans does not facilitate violent Islamic backlash the same way that burning Bibles or the Torah would make it okay for Christians and Jews to violently brutalize people the way that Mr. Lang here is about to get.
Scammer Tim Wall, come join us 1 p.m. here, Minneapolis City Hall.
So this is what he said first. He's announcing it. They're gonna protest. Now again, is it a nice thing to do to burn Qurans on the street?
No, it's not nice. It's not a good thing to burn Qurans or Bibles or anything.
For a lot of people on the left that don't know this, it technically nowhere in the law does it say you need to be nice. I know that this is not a very nice thing to say, but that's kind of where we're at. Burning a Quran is protected by freedom of speech, and he has every right to do that, whether you like it or not. Now, the thing is, didn't go well, huh, bitch ass? I love how, what this is actually saying. So this is after they throw shit at him and beat him, all right, and threaten him, and then it's like, it didn't go well for you. I love how, the conclusion of all this is like...
And again, if he's out there... High doo-doo 3, the high harsh saga are. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Jake Lang, but unless he was actively out there, actually putting his hands on people, he did nothing to deserve this. And even so, I'm pretty sure he didn't hit this many people.
Oh yeah? You're protesting Islam because you're saying Islam is violent? Well, we're going to prove you wrong by beating the shit out of you and stabbing you. That'll teach you for calling us violent. That'll teach you for calling us violent, motherfucker. We're going to kill you for calling us violent.
Yeah, we're gonna beat the fuck out of you and almost kill you. That'll teach you for calling us violent.
Sir. Unfortunately for you guys, his entire plan worked out so much better than you could have ever wanted. Now, everyone knows that leftist Muslim guys that are showing up to these places are actually violent savages. That's definitely what this looks like now. I mean, this is a dude doing his protected speech. Now, let me remind you, this is after dealing with fucking this. All right. Now we're dealing with this bullshit.
Yeah, and this is after
All right.
they set
So,
these
again,
giant
nice
fires
thing
that
to
could be
do.
seen
No,
from
not a
miles
very
away
nice
in
thing to do.
Minneapolis.
However, I don't think that any of the riots and protests are a nice thing to do on the left either. So the reality is, when the left riots, the right wants justice. The right wants people that commit crimes to go to jail. When the right does something that's a little bit uncouth, the left literally tries to kill him. And it's actually pretty insane. Conservative activist Jake Lang taken away by leftist mob. They actually drag him away. Like they mob him. And they're actually just
Seeing this
dragging
guy
him
up
into the
here,
mob.
this is an ICE agent trying to pull him to safety, and these guys. Okay, I think this guy's trying to get him to safety too. All the rest of these guys want blood.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he was beaten and stabbed
Well,
during this
somewhere they
altercation.
actually just pick him up and they drag him into the mob. He was stabbed shortly after this. He only survived because of his plate carrier. If you're gonna go into a terrorist mob like this, learn from Kyle Rittenhouse. I know that that's a dark thing to say, but they really tried to kill him. They stabbed him after this, which is insane. Of course, people are celebrating in the street.
And I will say, look, despite what the media would have you believe, Kyle Rittenhouse, like I grew up in a border town. Okay, I grew up in a town on the border of two states. In not a big town at all, but the biggest town within like 2-3 hours. Kyle Rittenhouse was in a similar situation. His dad lived in the city. Was it Kenosha? Was it Kenosha, Wisconsin? And his mom lived like 20 minutes away in a much smaller town. So he went back and forth, and he had a lot of friends in both cities. I've done a lot of research on this. I watched all the videos. Kyle Rittenhouse, that was his hometown. He was defending one of his two hometowns. His mom, like I said, his mom lived in a smaller town 20 minutes outside of that town in the next state. He didn't carry a gun over state lines. The gun was at his dad's house or his friend's dad's house, according to all testimony. But that's different. If this asshole, and I'm calling Jake Lang, he is the victim here, quote unquote. If Jake Lang had brought a gun here, he's not from this town, this state, or anything, as far as I'm aware. Let's, real quick. Where is Jake Lang from? Yeah, don't bring me up. And this is one thing I hate about. Why is Yahoo my main search engine? I've changed this many times. We'll say, what state is Jake Lang from? Florida. He's from Florida. He's a Florida man. So if Jake Lang from Florida had brought a gun to this state, to this situation, like all these other people are telling him he should have done, he should have learned from Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was in his hometown. If Jake Lang had brought a gun there, he would have been in the wrong, like a lot of these other people who aren't from this town. So no, that's not the answer. The real way he could have protected himself was to not go there in the fucking first place, because he's not from there.
Right, this is 4.6 million views, 60,000 likes. They dragged
Or
the
done like
Nazi
one of the two
Jake Lang
Nicks,
out of the
Sorter
building.
and the other one,
Wow.
and
This
just
is literally straight up
recorded and
laughing
asked questions.
Celebrating for a guy that literally did not break any laws, got brutally beaten, stabbed by a vicious mob. But again, this is your classic leftist. Look at his bio. It's honestly incredible. Lightbringer, accuser, ruler of wit and hell, not evil, just misunderstood. Thanks, Satan. Thanks, Satan. Wow.
That is a pretty funny. I wouldn't be
allies up
surprised
with
if that was
Satan
my
is
buddy
truly
Lou from
the
California.
ultimate combo. It's like, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in spirituality, but Satan is my bestie. This is the new leftist creed. It's pretty insane. It's honestly wild. And it explains why wokeism became their new religion. Because wokeism is just basically the 7 deadly sins. You got pride parades. You got the angriest motherfuckers on the planet for wrath. I mean, gluttony, the fat acceptance. All right, you got lust. You sleep around as many people as you want. Open relationships. Infinite whores. Envy. You're angry at the rich people. Greed. You want to take their money. Sloth. You don't want to get a job. I mean, literally, wokeism is essentially the 7 deadly sins, all in one cute little bubble.
That is an interesting way to look at it. From his religious standpoint, again, Nux is very, very Jewish, despite all the profane comments that he makes. But yeah, that's an interesting take. I never thought of it that way.
And so, yeah, of course they ally up with Lucifer, even if they don't believe in anything. So here's some actual good footage of the mob attacking Jake Lang, ripping him off the streets, off the steps of the Capitol building, and just beating him.
Hey, go, bro, go. Just go. Just go. Let him go, y'all.
And to whoever that is, whether he's with Jake, whether he's with ICE, whether he's with this crowd,
savagely beating him.
Good on you, man. Especially if you were part of this crowd and you're pushing him to get out of there. You're one of the good ones.
That's not the point. He has the legal right to say what he wants to say.
He does.
These people don't care. All right, these are the people that claim they care about the Constitution. They claim they care about due process and stuff like that. They don't. They use your liberties as weapons against you. All right, this is just leftist taquilla. They do not give a shit because they have no values.
I mean, there's nothing like getting the shit beat out of you by a bunch of Somalis, little femboys, and women in unicorn pajamas. That's actually pretty funny. Horrible, and it's a shame that shit like this is happening. But when you think about it. Is that him yelling, "Go home"?
They just don't stop.
Let him go. Hey, go, bro, go. Just go. Just go.
They just don't stop.
Like I said, whoever that dude saying "just go" is, good on you, mate.
They ended up stabbing him. It truly insane stuff. This is him fleeing bloody from the mob.
Hey, pull over.
So he got in the back of this car. I don't know if they're with him or not.
Obviously.
But whoever this is, just drive. Lunatics.
Obviously, they attacked the car because they're savages that believe in nothing. All right? So everything that they claim.
And most of these guys may not even believe in the cause. They're just there for the savagery. Just the same way anytime there's a big protest or a riot, people start looting. They don't even care about the cause. This is more of that. This is just people doing things that they want to do that aren't necessarily legal, taking advantage of a situation.
Claim that they care about. It's all a lie in order to get power, right? Remember, they don't hate authoritarianism. They just want to be the authoritarians.
Yeah.
Never forget what you're up against. Oh my God.
Yeah, and definitely never forget that. Like he said, they don't hate authoritarianism. They just want to be the authoritarians. That's couldn't have said it better myself. In a lot of these cases, some people actually do want social change or want this or that. But all these people committing all these heinous acts, that's all it is. They don't care about the cause. They just are utilizing it to take control. Just like Stalin did.
Leftists are roaming Minnesota, attacking anyone that even supports ICE. Vagrants roaming the streets, beating random people.
Yeah, this guy's just
Craziest
random.
thing I've ever seen. All right. Right, they can't fight ICE officers.
Put your hands
The
down.
ICE
Stop trying to get
officers
uppies
killed
from the
them
guy
in
that
self-defense.
just knocked you on
They
your
just
ass.
Beat up random people in the streets, right? And they just keep attacking him.
Yeah, this guy literally did nothing. They thought he
And
was
then
with
of course,
ICE.
showed up. It's insane. It's actually insane that this is happening. Right? These are the people that scream and cry and play victim whenever they can. Oh, hey, that's another thing the Palestinians invented. So in this video is another example. All right, so here you got the keffiyeh wearing freaks. All right, they attack this random American dude. You could tell he's American because he has an American flag on his hoodie. They don't like that because actually, you might not be aware of this, but the left actually, and this is why they ally up with radical Islam so much, they hate America and they want to destroy us. So they're actually very upset that this guy has an American flag on his hoodie. So they're holding on to him. They're threatening to beat him. They're dragging him by the neck.
And this is the crazy part to me. Anyone, look, I understand that Trump has, I mean, as you can see from the American flag on his face in this picture, Trump has kind of made the American flag and America as a whole his mascot. But the fact that this guy's, and this isn't even like a white regular dude. This is someone who, he looks like he's an immigrant. He's in the same city as the rest of these people. And he looks like he's Middle Eastern. And he's wearing an American flag jacket. It's gaudy. I would never wear an American flag anything just because it's not really my color. But yeah, that's all he's doing. They saw a guy in an American flag coat, and they started savagely beating him, demanding that he takes it off because it's a symbol of hate. What fucking planet is this? What is this timeline?
Take it off.
Nazi fuck.
Nazi
He's wearing a
fuck.
shirt that says freedom. Nazi fuck.
There you go. I got you. You're good. Get your ass up out of here.
They straight up threaten him and beat him and threaten him to the point that he has to remove.
And I love how
his
tough,
hoodie with the
yeah,
American
and I love how
flag,
tough these guys are
because
when they're in
threatened to beat him
hordes.
Because obviously he's a Nazi because he had an American flag.
They steal his coat right there.
And they took it.
Fucking assholes.
And they just stole it. Nice. Nice. Poor guy. Dude, it's crazy. This is absolute insanity. Alright, this guy's
Then these other
driving
assholes.
while he's holding a phone. If this dude doesn't get a fucking ticket for this, I will be angry for the rest of my life. You get fucking sniped by these absolute asshole video cameras everywhere. Take it off and you won't get hurt. Dude, the rioters are obviously anti-American, and in my opinion, this is domestic terrorism.
Yeah,
like
no,
this
100%.
is straight up fighting for your ideology in the most insane way, and it doesn't stop. Right?
I would
So-
step back if I were you.
I would stand back. Look over here.
They've got it handled. I should just shut my mouth.
So here she is.
Oh, you
She
fucking bitch!
She punches an ICE agent, and it's over. That's it. Yep.
Fucking idiot!
This is the mostly peaceful leftists I keep hearing about.
Yeah, these
The
and
mostly
these
peaceful leftists.
look.
And then
I got no love
videos on
for
social media
agents
getting
or any
arrested
kind of
as an
police
American
force or
citizen.
whatever.
Why would they arrest an American citizen guy?
But these guys were just leaning on their vehicle,
I should only be arresting
and this person walks up
Why are they arresting American
and
citizens?
cold cocks him.
Well, 'cause this is the shit that they have to do
When there's
all the
3
time.
other agents
It's
around.
crazy. It's like
And then is
heartbreakingly
surprised
crazy,
when she gets
and
thrown to the ground.
The scary part is that people don't want to call it what it is. People don't want to talk about the fact that we have a domestic terrorism problem in our country because these people are being groomed from colleges and retards, teaching them that this is the correct moral virtue system. All right, and that you have to do this in order to be moral. All right, they have a dad-shaped hole in their heart that they need to fill with virtue signaling. All right, think about it. I think that every person is driven to want purpose. All right, I think it's a natural part of being a person, and I think that the healthiest and best way you could do it, and I mean this completely selfishly, it will make your life best, in my opinion, is if you fill that with a spiritual connection with God. I personally believe that that is the most fulfilling, best thing you could possibly do. Now, the leftists obviously hate God because they grew up in this anti-God system of the school system, the college system, teaching them no, God
Sorry,
is
I'm
bad,
looking for-
actually. And the religious people are actually
I thought I
stupid.
had
They-
something.
What, they worship Sky Daddy? You really think Sky Daddy is real? That's stupid. Anyway, you should murder your own babies and then cut your cock off and change your gender.
I guess I didn't
and
save it. Let me
be
see if I can
miserable and
find
lonely
it.
for the rest of your life. You're depressed because you have no purpose. Don't worry, I have a purpose for you. All you need to do is go beat up some law enforcement officials that are trying to protect our country from an invasion. And that's how you end up with these absolutely unhappy, demoralized, depressed, disgusting women and men. But the college system is largely targeted at emotionally manipulating women. I know.
All right, so Van Jones, a retard. Hey, morning, Evil Sizer. Retard from that CNN show where they have like 5 or 6 Democrats and that one Republican guy. Van Jones says here, we were arguing about ICE. We're not actually arguing about immigration policy. We're arguing about legitimacy, and we're doing it while watching 2 completely different movies. I spent the last week really listening to the voices on all sides of the conflict. ICE agents, protesters, conservatives, progressives, undocumented families, police officers, government officials. He's using periods instead of commas here. Here's the uncomfortable truth. He's a journalist. Each side thinks it is the reasonable one. Each side thinks the other side is lying and or insane. And each side, at some level, actually has a point, which I'm with him so far until about paragraph 10. Conservatives see law enforcement under attack. Progressives see unchecked federal power running roughshod over neighborhoods, same events, totally different data sets and frameworks. This outcome isn't by accident. Algorithms are feeding us different videos, not algorithms, also news organizations like the one this guy works for. Headlines, emotional cues. Again, we are not watching the same movie. From inside the conservative worldview, if enforcement fails, we lose the country. Blocking ICE looks like blocking firefighters from their worldview. From inside the progressive worldview, and it's a much bigger paragraph for this side because he is on that side. If ICE overreach isn't resisted now, authoritarianism becomes normal. Not protesting feels like surrendering democracy. When they're using fascistic tactics, by the way. Neither side is pretending. Both are reacting to real fears. I will say the pawns are reacting to real fears. The rest of them are stoking the flames, intentionally. But both are missing critical parts of the picture. Here's a test of good faith when discussing the ICE issue. Can you name the other side's deepest fear in a way they'd agree is fair? Again, with him so far. We can have the constitutional enforcement and legitimate protest, safety and freedom, but not if we keep letting social media trick us into, and not just social media, actual mainstream media. Trick us into believing the absolute worst about everyone who disagrees with us. Again, I'm still with him. He adds, I hate the way we let whatever party we belong to determine what we think is right or wrong. All Americans can embrace a secure border and fair enforcement of our immigration laws. Not all can. A lot of the people who are out there protesting and violently rioting can't. This is where he loses me. But that's not what's happening with ICE right now. To the contrary, their tactics are increasingly unhinged and unlawful, mostly in response to being attacked by rioters and people intervening with them just arresting like any other president has done since the creation of ICE in like 2003, I think. As a result, they are terrifying nannies. They aren't terrifying nannies. The media is saying that they're picking up everyone who isn't white. This is what the mainstream media is putting out. This is what commentators, dare I say grifters, are saying. They're saying they're picking up everyone who isn't white. Roofers and restaurant workers, many of whom are lawful residents and or U.S. citizens, that's not true, who have never violated our laws. No American should support the idea of thousands of hastily hired, poorly trained, I agree with that part, overpaid government agents wearing masks and running roughshod, he loves that word, over human dignity and basic rights. Every American should hold ICE to a higher standard and lawful standard. I agree with bits of that. They are hastily hired, poorly trained, overpaid government agents. I agree with that wholeheartedly. They didn't receive training through ICE. Allegedly, there were background checks done. A lot of these guys do have previous military and police backgrounds. Should there be actual training programs in place for ICE? Yeah, there really should be. There should be, just like any police or military force, they should have policies, procedures, right way, wrong way to do things, the best way to clear a room, the best way to do this, the best way to do that. But again, and don't be fooled by people who are pretending or half-assedly trying to understand your side of an argument. Okay, I would say it's a start if he's doing it legitimately and not just trying to make it seem like he's being humble, when in reality he's just saying the same thing with a little more empathy in his voice. That's it.
Not allowed to talk about this, so we won't. This video is kind of a highlight reel of everything that happened today. All right, so I already showed you politicians going crazy and going to jail and stuff like that. I showed you leftist mobs just attacking people in public, some getting arrested, some not. And this one is the actual crazy story of the day. Breaking news! An employee of El Paso's office of the medical examiner said it is likely to classify the death of Geraldo Lunes Campos at the ICE detention center a homicide. A detainee says he witnessed Campos being choked to death by guards. So 4.2 million views. The Washington Post released this tragic story. Illegal alien strangled to death by the guards. This is so sad. Crystal Ball tweets out 7.4 million views. Breaking news. An employee of El Paso's Thingamahoosa was killed. It appears that ICE strangled a detainee to the death. This is so sad. Well, I mean, it would be so sad if the Washington Post would tell you the full story.
Yeah.
That ICE killed a pedophile. That's right. The person that was allegedly strangled to death by a guard was a guy convicted twice of 2 sex crimes against children.
And again, I don't care what his charge is. I mean, I do, and one less pedophile in the world. Okay. But I care about, and look, if you're in police custody, it doesn't matter what your charge is. You being there is already the punishment, okay? You getting put in jail or deported in the case of this, or put in one of these cells awaiting to be deported, that's fine. Now, if this person was violent, if this person was attacking guards, sure, sometimes people get choked to the point, especially if they're flailing and they will not stop. Things happen. However, it is not an excuse for me, and it shouldn't be an excuse for you or anybody, that someone in ICE custody, and we're going to see if there's more to this. I'm just pausing for this moment, because it seems like this is okay with him. I don't care what you've done. Jail is the punishment. They do not get to just kill you because you're a pedophile or a murderer or this or that.
That's
yeah.
right,
So let's see if there's any
The
more to
Let's
this.
Do hero, a literal pedophile, repeat offending pedophile. There it is. Sexual abuse, sexual contact with individual less than 11 years old.
Okay, that's disgusting.
Crime 2000. So this dude was a
Unless this guy was the father.
and he's dead now. Fuck him.
He shouldn't.
Now, that said, all the leftists immediately jumped on this story from the Washington Post, as they all did.
And again, I'm going to see if there's more to this story, but that is not enough for me. But Dean Withers needs to stop.
I would show you this on Dean Withers' page himself, but I can't because he deleted this TikTok, obviously, because he made an entire TikTok running defense for a pedophile. So this is Dean Withers. He's the most popular leftist TikToker. In my opinion, his brains are mush. I've never heard him sound even remotely intelligent, but that's what it takes to be a leftist influencer. In fact, I'm going to show you what it's all about right now.
I had to pull over to make this video because fucking...
He's emotional. All right, that's step one. To be a leftist influencer, you have to be emotional. Reach out to the empaths that are getting emotionally manipulated by college systems to care about the retards that are invading our country instead of the people in our country getting raped.
Wait, hold on. So someone asked me on X, they said, why do I think it's wrong? Because where does it end? Okay. Prison guards, government agencies, they are not the harbingers of death, okay? Unless they're out and tactical, whatever, trying to achieve an objective, like the whole Maduro situation. I'm sure people died. I'm sure soldiers in Venezuela died protecting Maduro. That's one thing. But someone who's more or less defenseless, someone who is awaiting actual judgment, this is not the standard we want to set. So I know sometimes pedophiles die in jail. I know sometimes the other inmates have certain feelings about pedophiles and such. But I'm looking more overall big picture. Okay, this does not set a good precedent, especially if it's the guards. If it's another inmate, whatever, add a charge to them or buy them a meal or something. I don't care. But the guards do not get to kill inmates because of whatever their charge is. That's it. Period. Point blank. That's it.
Everyone needs to hear this.
Everyone needs to hear this. This is super important. Yeah, he's going to reveal the truth.
A man died in an ICE detention
No! No!
All right, come on.
center on January 3rd. His name is Geraldo Lunos Campos.
We must remember his name. Say his name, guys. He's the new George Friggity Floyd.
Come on, Dean. Did you not leave out one little fun fact?
What?
He's a
What did he
sick
leave
pedophile.
out? Yeah, that's it, man. That's the little fact he left out. He made an entire TikTok.
I mean, that is disgusting, but I need more information. I'm not going to mourn this guy's death. I am going to mourn the justice system.
Geraldo, pedophile, retard face. And Geraldo over here is a pedophile. I would show you the original TikTok. I can't. I literally can't. I tried my best. Look, man, I got a lot of people talking about this, but he deleted the TikTok.
He deleted the video.
Yeah, no shit, he deleted.
Like I said, I don't like Dean Withers. I don't like any of that.
The video because
It's the
what's
what's the word I'm looking for? The precedent or precedents that it sets.
Dean, let me tell you something. A pedophile getting murdered in prison.
I'm not
has
going to
got be
mourn
the
a disgusting
least newsworthy
kid
news story in the history
diddler
of news.
at all.
New
I'll forget his name
achievement.
here in a
The
minute.
biggest TikToker defends a pedophile. Your reward? Your reward is nothing, because the reality is leftists defending pedophiles and running defense for groomers is kind of par for the course these days. I don't know. Have you seen those
that
kids'
part's
drag
true.
shows? These motherfuckers didn't even want to talk about the Epstein files while Biden was the president for 4 years. No one is surprised here. Running defense for pedophiles.
I mean, if you're going to let anyone kill him, let the parents of the person, one of the kids that was in his wake, let one of them get him.
This is a left-wing policy.
And again, if
So,
the
yeah,
prison guard was one of those
right-wing
people,
heroes,
then,
that
you know,
get killed,
sure.
murdered.
But I still don't like the
Unfortunately,
precedent it
people like
sets.
Charlie Kirk, people that preach the word of God and college campuses, affecting so many people in positive ways, getting them to build families, to build spiritual lives, to do good for themselves, for their community, to donate money to their local churches and help the local poor. Murdered for speaking their opinion and being very effective. Heroes of the left. Pedophile, rapist, illegal alien strangled in prison, and fat retarded lesbian that tried to run over an ICE officer.
And again, I am
Honestly,
curious
if
as
this was
to
like an
what happened, because I'm
ideological
sure he
battle
attacked
for a TV
somebody.
show, I would say the writing
I
was
have to
sloppy.
believe
It's
that
on
this
the
isn't
nose.
just something that happened.
I support ICE, but Peter, they strangled a child rapist. I already support them. You don't have.
And like I
to
said, I'm glad he's gone,
Very
but it
cool.
should have been by the book.
Anyway, ICE detains 2 ex-child rapists illegally in the country. 55-year-old lib white woman. No, anything but no, please. It really is. It's honestly incredible. Like it's like it feels like a parody, except it's not. It's actually happening. It's truly unreal that this keeps happening. Like, leftoid ideology is so toxic. This is the shit we have to deal with. Like the 55-year-old liberal white woman absolutely.
I am curious to
is
see what Senator
crying-
Kennedy has to say
crying
about
on
this.
The floor that a pedophile was deported. It's crazy. But then I'm remembered this is the party that brought us actual bangers like this.
You remember an inmate named William McLean, also known as July Justine Shelby?
Yes, I know who you're referring to.
Okay. Mr. McLean raped a child, didn't he?
That's pretty bad.
30 years ago, the petitioner in the habeas case before me,
Did he rape the
Yes.
child?
Yes.
he pled guilty to that crime.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
yes.
abhorrent.
And then he raped a 17, he raped a little boy, right?
Wow.
I believe that's correct. I believe he pled guilty to 2 acts of sexual violence.
And then he raped a 17-year-old girl, right?
Wow. This guy sounds like a upstanding gentleman.
Again, this case was handled by the state court in Indiana, but I
I'm
believe
just asking you the facts.
I believe-
Don't stall on me now. Did he rape a 17-year-old girl or not after raping a 9-year-old boy?
I believe that's what he pled guilty to.
Okay, and then he went to prison, didn't he?
Don't say that's what he
Yes.
pled guilty to.
And then
Get
he
ready. Get ready for the twist.
came out and he sent child porn basically adults raping little children to another sex offender.
That's gross.
And he was sent back to prison.
Right.
That's
That's
disgusting.
second time in prison. All right, don't worry. It gets better, guys. It gets better.
The petitioner pled guilty
Oh my
to
God.
Was
one.
he sent back to prison?
Well, that case was in the federal system, so
Was he sent back to prison?
yes, this time to federal prison.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
it's-
then
he didn't ask
decided
what prison.
to
He just asked if he
transition.
went to prison.
And he became a female. And started going by July Justine Shelby. Is that right?
Yes.
And Miss Shelby said, I don't want to go to a male prison. I want to go to a female prison.
So yeah, this person who
And the board
raped a
of
couple of
prisons
kids
said,
and
"What
had a
planet
lot of
did you
kiddie
parachute
porn
in from?"
and gave it
Right.
and sent it to other people of his same status, we'll say,
Obviously,
And
right?
you sent him
transitioned
to a female prison.
physically, not
You said
chemically,
that the
so he
boy-
could go to
defending women, am I right?
a women's prison.
Wrong. You always need men to defend.
And then he
women at the end
attacked
of the
one
day,
of them
so this is
too.
gonna sound like,
He raped
misogynistic or whatever, but
at least
ultimately you need
one
men to
that I'm
defend
aware
women,
of
because men
person
are the
in prison.
powerful force of society, whether you like it or not. Men are.
This has been quite a few
inherently
years ago
stronger
when
than
things have
females,
changed since then,
biologically
but
speaking.
not a lot.
And men make up the power to enforce laws in the country. That's an objective fact. And even not regarding straight up force, you end up with this woman over here decided to take this man, pedophile rapist, and put him in a woman's prison because of the pronouns he declared he wanted to have.
Board of Prisons was trying to violate
Wow. Isn't that nice?
Ms. Shelby, former Mr. McLean's constitutional rights, didn't you?
I issued a report and recommendation to the district judge recommending
Wow, good
that
stuff.
the
Good
district
stuff.
judge
Wow.
transfer
You're a real hero to women everywhere.
the
Wow.
petitioner to a
Good
women's
shit.
facility.
Beautiful. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, that's
that
crazy.
whole situation. 5-year-old liberal white woman one. All right, they're pulling people out of cars. No one cares.
Yeah,
Like,
that's we saw
this
that.
is the sane party. Now they're traveling around holding guns in the streets, and I know someone's gonna say, but Nux, I thought you were pro the Second Amendment.
I will say at least it doesn't look like his fingers on the trigger, so at least he's showing some kind of gun safety, I guess.
Doing their lawful job. Because that actually is what we call murder in the United States. Regardless of whether the Second Amendment means you're allowed to have bear arms. It doesn't mean you're allowed to murder people, and that is, quite frankly, the purpose of why these people are sitting out there with guns. It's to murder law enforcement. Let's be honest, that's the point. Before some retarded leftist decides to make the incredible point, but no Second Amendment, yeah.
And me personally, I'm not a big fan of open
You
carry.
can continue playing the retard game where you make believe you don't understand
Concealed
things,
carry,
'cause
sure.
That's what leftists do.
Whatever.
But normal people don't play that game. All right, this is the tolerant left. All right. They got
Then you
the
got this.
pride
There's a
flags
protest. This old lady has no idea what's going on. She's just trying to cross the street. Like, she's like 90. And then these assholes are blocking the path and screaming, Nazi scum, get off our
Together
street.
Not to even let her cross the street. I just felt like this is the most cartoonishly evil thing I've ever seen. I just felt like I had to include it in the video. It's amazing. So this is a Somali that gives us a really good argument why we need to import way more Somalis into
Don't do
Minnesota.
Funny thing is, she's not even talking to the
So that
camera.
was
She's
her
talking to
argument.
someone
I
over
think
here.
she made a
That's the
pretty
sad
good
thing.
sound. I mean, a pretty good argument. Not a sound. Obviously, that was rude. That was
I mean, she believed what she said.
But
That's the important thing.
Made a lot of good points.
My
I'll
God.
leave them in. I'll think about it. I'll leave them.
Oh, Don Lemon. Let's
I'll
watch
put them
Don
into the
Lemon.
Suggestion box. Now, fuck your retard over here. Don Lemon's going around, debating random civilians, right?
Yeah.
After shitting on Charlie Kirk for debating.
What's
college
funny
students.
about Don Lemon
He goes to
debating
debate
people on the
just
street?
gets
One, he
beat up
gets
for
owned
there, and he just
constantly.
gets
And two,
humiliated wherever he goes. It's honestly incredible.
he's intentionally,
ICE is doing in Minnesota.
obviously
I'm allowed
lying
to say what I
constantly.
think,
You
or
can say whatever you want.
I think all the chaos is caused by these paid agitators. When Obama was president, he did the same thing, and the Democrats were crickets about it.
Oh, it's actually really simple. It's because the Democrats, they replaced their NPC chip in their brain. They realized, holy fuck, if we import infinite retards, give them our money through fraud, and they just vote for us forever, we could just stay in power eternally. They figured that out, and then they were like, whoa, that's amazing. So they just, they click the button, they reprogram all the NPCs, and that's it. Because none of these people ever had any form of moral backbone.
Yeah.
All right? because your morality needs to be founded in something. All right, this is what leftists will never ever understand. They'll never be able to say this with the whole heart because their morality is not founded in anything. My morality, personally, is founded in God. It's founded in the Bible. It's founded in a divine command. That is where my morality is founded. And I'm sure that morality. That's why
It's fantastic, and that's great for him. But I'm really trying to.
There, they only care about what they're told to care about. So now they're told you got to care about ICE shit, and they're like, oh my God,
that is true.
Protesters and the illegal aliens. Oh my God, what about the Somalis?
And most of this is that. Oh, current thing is happening. I care about current thing.
They make a big deal.
You might have a point about that, but they weren't beating people up in public when Barack Obama did it.
They weren't.
This is like the most obvious bullshit ever because there weren't these massive riots.
Yeah.
Resisting as much.
Well, because they were using due process.
No, the due process is like I love how he says using due process like it's a word. Like this is one of the big leftist lies. Due process is not like an actual term. Due process just means
they're using
that they are due.
They are using due process.
They are due is finding out if they're in the country legally or not. If
exactly.
they're not in the country legally, they get deported. That's the process they are due.
They were using due process. Like they had to have a warrant.
They do have warrants. They have identified these people.
The worst of the worst. Seriously, illegal aliens that have criminal records.
Sir, that's not who they're going after. I've been out there. They're going after citizens. These are Americans.
They're not. The fact that Don Lemon, someone who formerly worked for CNN, now has his own little news media where he goes around lying to people, says that they're rounding up citizens. That is not the case.
He just lies.
Are they arresting citizens? Sure, if they're obstructing or violently rioting. But other than that, no.
He wonders why he was fired from CNN.
Citizens that they're picking up. They're not illegal aliens.
They're not picking up random citizens. They're only picking up citizens if the citizens are fighting ICE agents.
Yeah.
Like in the countless videos I just showed you of citizens committing acts of domestic terror.
And most of the people, most of the people who they pick up have no criminal record.
That's not true.
This is a lie also.
You want to see the facts?
It's over 70% right now.
Can I show it to you? 73% of the current ICE detainees have no criminal convictions.
Convictions!
I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
He's stunned. Anyway, it's sad because he's right. That's the tragic part. He's right, and he just has to take this guy's word for it because he whipped out a fancy terminology on his phone. It's crazy. Over 70%.
And he probably didn't even Google anything. Yo, shapeshifter, what's going on?
Of ICE people, people captured by ICE right now, I'm pretty sure. First of all, they're all illegal. Important to note, the ones that are getting deported. 99.7% of them that are arrested are illegal aliens, and 70% of them have a criminal history.
Yeah.
Which is honestly incredible. And that's aside from the crime of breaking into the country illegally. They all play these fucking games.
Which crossing the border is in itself a crime.
So there's this new
if you do it
anime
illegally.
coming out this season that I feel like we have to talk about right now. I think it's really important because this anime is incredibly relevant.
Oh my God. AI's gone too far.
This is so sad. It's bad. When the law is actually enforced. They're protesting.
Doesn't have the same ring to it in Japanese.
Someone I know was hit by a car. I joined ICE to save my country, but now I'm the villain.
Yo, Leaflet
Wow,
is
sounds like a
crazy.
great anime, going viral everywhere. Good job. I don't know who this is. What the fuck's a Leaflet? But anyway, great job from this person.
Hey,
the
Leaflet's
reality
cool. Come
is,
on now.
Ultimately, we're living in retard world. Just another day of leftist people with no principles, values, or morals beating up random people that are on the right.
Oh yeah,
because they
you're talking
fucking
about
hate
that
us and
Renee
want us to
Good.
die,
No,
while
that's
they tell us that we are the problem
despite what
and
that
we are
one
the
person
ones
on
causing
TikTok
fights,
is screaming,
and
they did
violence.
not get her
You got
because
gay
she's queer.
furries getting arrested by ICE. You get retards on the leftist governments constantly getting humiliated wherever they go, trying to cover up crime, erecting statues of literal satanic statues. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Ice
Unbelievable
cold.
amounts
All
of
right, all
fraud
right, all
everywhere.
right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all
People
right.
getting attacked all over the place. And finally, tragic, heartbreaking news breaking from Dean Withers, the biggest leftist TikToker. A pedophile was strangled in a prison. I will truly sleep very well tonight. Subscribe to keep up to date.
And I'll sleep well too. But again,
Someone has to hold
it
them
doesn't
to
make a good
account.
precedent for
Hashtag
the
HTTP.
justice system.
But it is happening. Deus Volt. God wills it. We are taking our country back. Little by little. One gay furry at a time.
My God.
Bye.
Nux is off his nut, man. I love Nux. I'm not heavily religious like he is. But Lord Nuxanor is he's pretty hilarious. He's very entertaining to watch, even if you don't agree with everything that he says. So go watch. He's got 2 channels. He's got the Lord channel. I believe that one's Nux Taku, and then his regular channel with his more political views and and big clips from his live streams is Nuxanor. He's on YouTube. He's on Kick. Check him out. He's got good stuff. This vid guy who we're not watching is Sargon of Akkad. He's got a COD Daily. He's got Sargon of Akkad channel. He's been in it for a long time. He's been in it since the first Gamergate. Like, God, has it been 12 years? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But Sargon's good people. I know she didn't get hurt because she's... No. I know. I will say, despite her passing being quite tragic, I mean, she was interfering. At least her girlfriend was being hostile. It's not her wife, it's her girlfriend. But she was a bad person. And she did, like I said, if you watch the video as we broke down here on the channel, I believe it's been at least a week, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, if it wasn't for the ice patch that she was stuck on for a little bit, when she hit the gas the first time, the cop would have been obliterated. Probably not killed, but definitely would have fucked up his first month or two of this year. But that's all going to be all to me, guys. Again, sorry, I fucked up the headers on yesterday. So yesterday's show also says Sunday Special and has the wrong date on it. The one that says Sunday Special until I fix it is the shorter one. The longer one is from Sunday. The shorter one is from yesterday, Monday, the first half of this one. Again, apologies. I've been getting some, I don't know, Streamlabs has been acting up of late, but yeah, guys, don't forget to follow me over on Rumble if you haven't yet. Don't make sure you like whatever you're watching me on. But we'll get back into it. Again, if not a lot happens today, we will cover some of the stories that happened yesterday. I just really wanted to finish this video from Lord Nuxanor. But thank you for stopping by. I have been Alfie Animus. This is the Association.